diversity in a living things and their classification. Okay, in that we have studied classification of plants, how plants are classified according to as a flowering plant, non-flowering plant, whether they are heterotrophs or autotrophs. Okay, we have gone through the topic thoroughly. So today in this class, today in this lecture, we will study, we will learn more about classification of animals. So today our topic is okay, yeah. Today our topic is diversity and classification in animals. Okay, students, you can see many animals in this picture. Yes, yeah. Do they look same? No, they differ from each other. Some are very heighted, some are too short. Okay, they have different features. Okay, special features they have got. So, but they look different. Okay, there is diversity. That is called diversity. Diversity means they look different from each other. Okay, they eat food also different. So there is vast diversity among animals. So today we are going to differentiate them. Yes, this is amoeba. So different animals have developed different shapes to survive in the environment. There is a great variety in the body structures of animals too. So here we can see a picture of amoeba. Amoeba that we cannot see with our naked eyes. Okay, so if you want to see this amoeba, we have to make use of microscope. A huge elephant, the small snail, the fish that swims in the water, butterflies that flit around flowers, a house lizard that crawls on a wall are all are animals. So students, all these are animals. Okay, they have different characteristics. So let's study. Here we get to see animals have different body parts. Here example I have taken of tiger. See its head. It has its head, neck. From neck till the tail starts, that part is known as torso. A tail and a limbs to walk. So animals have body parts like head, neck, torso, tail and limbs. Now here is a picture of a crab, earthworm and a centipede. We see variety in animals with respect to their food as well. Since animal depends on others for their food, they are found in places where food is available. Different animals have different methods of obtaining, of eating their food. And because of that, this leads to a differences in their body structure. So जैसे कि अलग अलग animals उनका बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर अलग रहता है, वो जो खाना खाते हैं, खाना खा के गुजारा करते हैं अपना, वो सब डिफरेंट रहता है. ओके, दे डिफर फ्रॉम ईच अदर. सो एज देयर बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर, जो वो खाना खाते हैं वैसे उनका बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर भी होता है. Now as we know, animals are dependent on others for their food. Okay, animals are dependent on others for their food. जैसे पक्षी दाना खाते हैं. ओके, पक्षी दाने खाते हैं, फल खाते हैं, और बहुत कुछ अलग चीजें खाते हैं. ओके, दाना चुगते हैं, फल खाते हैं. और वैसे हनी बी, this is honeybee, what honeybee does, honeybee, she sucks nectar from the flower, okay, or the sweet juice which is available in the flower. So ये हमको ये विभिन्नता पाई जाती है animals में. Okay, so their food differs from each other. Now students, here we will begin point wise how the classification in animal takes place. So our first point of classification of animal is animals are classified as unicellular and multicellular. Now unicellular, what do you mean by unicellular? Unicellular animal means the animal which has single cell in it. Okay, unicellular is an animal which has single cell in it. And multi, the word multi means more than one. Okay, so unicellular and multicellular animals. This is a picture of a puddle. Okay, mostly these puddles are formed in a rainy season. Due to rainwater gets collect in one place, and this so such types of puddles are formed. We get to see such type of puddles. So now this puddle has stagnant water. Stagnant water means what? Stagnant water means the water which doesn't move. It remains in one place. It's called stagnant. So such stagnant waters we get to see. And if we take a small drop of this stagnant water, okay, small drop of stagnant water, and check it under microscope. If we check this, if and if we see under the microscope, what you will get to see? We will get to see ample number of microbes in it. Okay, innumerable. Innumerable means what, students? Innumerable means which has no count. It can be in thousands also. It can be hundreds, thousands, lakhs, or more than that. Okay, so in this puddle, if we take one drop of it under on a slide of a microscope, and if we have a check on it in through microscope, we will get to see there will be many microbes moving in it. There is innumerable microbes moving in it. And you will be also able to see a moving amoeba. If we check under the microscope in that drop, you see amoeba. So amoeba we cannot see with the naked eyes. As we know, we have to use microscope. So when see, this is a picture of amoeba through microscope. When amoeba is seen through microscope, you can see such kind of picture. This is how amoeba is seen through microscope. So this is how we have studied point number 1, that is animals are classified as unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular animal means which has one cell in it. Example, amoeba. You can also give example of paramecium. Okay, so this paramecium is what? It also has a single cell in it. It is formed on the fresh water also, and in the you can see it in the stagnant water also. So especially in on the stagnant water, you can see green color layer. Okay, so what is that? That is algae. You can say in that paramecium is found. So paramecium is also a single cell animal. It has only one cell. And multicellular animals. Multicellular animal means what? Multicellular animals means which has many cells in it. For example, horse, bear, and tortoise. So these are multicellular animals. Now we will continue with the second point as how animals are classified. So animals are also classified as vertebrates and
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes,
Invertebrates मतलब
yes, that's what I'm explaining you. Yes, vertebrates and invertebrates. Okay, that's all. That's what I'm explaining you now.
तोड़ेगा मैं पैसा लेगा
Please unmute yourself, students. Please unmute yourself. Let's do an activity.
Teacher, your voice is not coming. Your microphone is
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Um, I know many of them sit down for the lecture, okay, on the floor, and they adjust themselves, they adjust their phone and keep. So let's not, don't stand, just sit straight, sit straight. We'll do small exercise, okay? Sit straight. Raise your hands up. All of you, raise your hands up, down, up. Look towards your right. Look towards your right, towards your left. Keep your hands on your hip. Keep your hands on your hip. Bend down. Bend down. Sit straight. Again, bend down. Okay. So, okay. Keep your, show me both the hands. Show me your hands. Show me your hands properly. Yes. Now these hands, keep it on your back. Keep it on your back. Back. Keep it on your back. Okay, keep it on your back. And with your fingers, try to notice where, what can you find on your back? What can you notice on your back? Students, don't move. Sit down. Don't stand. Please sit down. Please sit down.
Teacher, we can see our we can feel our bones.
Very good. Very good. But Neeraj, you should raise your hand if I'm asking a question. Okay, you should not unmute yourself and directly answer. Okay. Okay. So here we yes, Ayush, what can you?
Teacher, from this exercise, we can feel our backbone.
Yes, you can feel your backbone. Yes, right.
Teacher, all exercise, we can feel our backbone.
Okay. Very good, very good. Just a second. Please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Okay. So, yes. So we have done with the activity. Now let's continue. Yes, students, we human beings have a vertebral column. Okay, because of that, you can see vertebral column in this picture. So, because of this vertebral column, this vertebral column helps us to stand erect, sit erect, and do many activities very easily. Okay, so we can now, just now I told you to bend down, you could bend down very easily. Okay, so and you can use you sat straight also very fast. Okay, so day to day activities, we do many activities in day to day life. So because of this vertebral column, we are able to do many activities, perform many activities easily. So this vertebral column is in humans as well as in some animals also. See, you can see here snake has his vertebral column. Kangaroo it also has a vertebral column inside its body. Even fish has a vertebral column. So because of that, Even if we take an example of a fish, it can swim easily, it can move along according to its accord. Okay, why? Because it has a vertebral column in it. Okay, and even kangaroo and many other animals like tiger, like deer, horse, they has this vertebral column in them. So the animals which have vertebral column inside them are called as vertebrate animals. So animals are called as vertebrate animals, those who has vertebral column inside their body. Now we will move to invertebrate animals. So invertebrate animal doesn't have vertebral column inside their body. So such animals are called, therefore they are called as invertebrate animals. For examples,
Invertebrates.
yeah, they are called invertebrates. So for example, snail, cockroaches, and any more examples you all can give me, students? Those who doesn't have vertebral column in their body.
Earthworm. Like snails,
No, this is bad
earthworm,
man.
insect, and bees.
You have to raise your hand. You have to raise your hand. Yes, Ayush?
So invertebrates like snails, cockroaches, earthworm, insects, and bees. They not have their backbones.
Yes, very good. So these animals are called as? These animals
What,
are
ma'am?
called? Okay, so you give me examples, na? Some examples. Repeat it. Please repeat it again.
Snails, cockroaches, earthworm, insects, bees. They not have backbone. They call invertebrate animals.
Okay, so they are called as invertebrate animals. Very good, very good. So now,
Thank you, teacher.
yes. So this is point number second. What we have studied just now. Animals are classified as vertebrates and invertebrates. So examples of vertebrates are snakes, fish, birds, kangaroo, humans. Examples of invertebrate animals: snail, cockroaches, earthworms, etc. Now we will move on towards our third point, that is classification. Animals are classified as oviparous and viviparous animal. So anyone can like to give me an example of animals who lay eggs? Yes, Nida, can you give me some examples? Will you give me some examples?
Ma'am, egg. Snake.
Yes, egg.
I will say some examples.
Yes, please repeat. Who lays eggs?
Ma'am, I will some examples.
Yeah, please tell me.
Snail. Snake.
And animals who lays eggs I'm talking about.
Hen.
Okay,
Teacher, I
hen.
want to say.
No, this is bad manner, Ayush. You have to raise your hand. When your chance come, that time you have to say. Okay, what
Teacher,
else?
already raised my hand.
Okay, tell me, Ayush, tell me.
The hen, or bird, elephant, they are oviparous because they lay eggs.
Okay,
No,
very good.
elephant is not fish.
Sorry.
Animal.
Yes. Okay. So basically, animals who lays eggs are known as oviparous animals, and animals which do not lay eggs, who gives birth directly to the young ones. Okay, they are called as viviparous animals. Now here you can see picture of a hen. So see, hen lays egg, and when these eggs are hatched, a small chicks comes out of it. Okay, so this such animals, they doesn't give birth directly to the young ones. They lay eggs, and when their eggs are hatched, their young one comes out of it. For example, your birds. There are many birds, you can see birds lay their eggs, and when their eggs are hatched, young ones come out of it. You must have got to see sometimes accidentally their eggs falls down from their nest. So you must have seen such, come across such incidents. Okay, so students, tell me one more thing. Where just now we have come across one bird which lay eggs directly on the ground. In English chapter, in English chapter 1.3, who lays eggs directly on the ground? Yes, Rupesh, tell me. Rupesh, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, tell me who lays egg directly on the ground. We have come across
Indi-
one bird.
Indian bustard.
Very good, very good. And it is also known as Maldok or whom, right? Yes, students, thank you. So we in English lesson number 1.3, we have gone through the great Indian bustard, which is the heaviest flying bird. Okay, and that bird, usually we see birds, they lay eggs in their nest, but this bird lay egg directly on the ground. So the animals which lay eggs are, and young one comes out of it. Okay, so basically they are called as oviparous animals. Now animals which gives birth directly to their young ones, okay, they do not lay eggs, they directly give birth to the young ones. They are known as viviparous animals. So example of viviparous animals are cow, here you can see cow, a goat, and many more examples like elephant, an elephant, a cat. Okay, so all these animals come under category of viviparous animals. Yes, this is what we have learned in point number 3. Animals are classified as oviparous animals and viviparous animals. Oviparous animals are known as animals which lay eggs, and later on when they are hatched, their young one come out of it. Okay, for example, a hen, birds, etc. Secondly, viviparous animals. Viviparous animals are those animals which gives birth to their young ones. Means they directly give birth to their young ones. They doesn't lay eggs. For example, cow, sheep, cat, goat, and many more. Now we will move towards our 4th point of classification. So please unmute yourself. Yeah, we will see 4th point of our topic, that is and classification of animals done on the basis of as a terrestrial animals, aquatic animal, amphibious animals, and as aerial animal. Okay, so let's see the difference between them. Now terrestrial animals. Terrestrial animals are those animal, students, who stays on the land. Okay, only on the land. So they are called as terrestrial animals, the animals which stay on the land. We will get to see some animals which stay on land as well as in water also, but mostly terrestrial animals are called animals those who stay on the land. For example, a horse, bear, a tiger, deer, and many more. Okay, there are many examples: elephant, and many more. So these animals basically they stay on the land. So the animals, those who stay on the land, are called as terrestrial animals. They are known as terrestrial animals. Aquatic animals. Now, what do you mean by aquatic animals? Aquatic animals are animals who stay in the water. Okay, so they survive their life in the water. Aquatic animals, for example, fish, frog, crocodile, snail. Okay, so these animals they stay in the water. Students, they are now here frog, crocodile, and a snail. Okay, they are known as aquatic animals, but they come under amphibious animals too, because they also stay in because they also stay on the land. Okay, they can also stay on the land. So aquatic animals are fish, frog, snail, crocodile. Now amphibious animals. What do you mean by amphibious animals? Animals which stay both on the land as well as in the water. Okay, so these animals they can stay on the land as well as in the water. For example, frog, salamander, toad, etc. Okay, so these animals we can find them in the water also, as well as in the on the land also. So as snail we can find them on the land as well as in the water. Aerial animals. Now, what do you mean by aerial animals? Aerial animals are those animals which have aerial mode of life. For example, they fly in the sky. Okay, so all those animals they come under category of aerial animals who can fly in the sky. For example, birds, butterfly, honeybee. See, birds like eagle, crow. We can add many more in that. Sparrow, parrot, pigeon. Okay, so these animals are called as aerial animals because they fly high in the sky. So this is what we have learned in point number 4. And as animals are classified according to animals are classified as terrestrial animals, aquatic animals, amphibious animals, and aerial animals. So terrestrial animals are those animals which lives on land. For example, horse, bear, and etc. Aquatic animals are such animals which lives in water. For example, fish, toad, salamander, etc. Also, yes, those are aquatic animals. Now, aerial animals. Aerial animals are such animals which fly in the air. So, for example, crow, butterfly, pigeon, parrot, sparrow. You can add many more. Amphibious animals. Amphibious animals, they live on both, that is land and water. Okay, so they are called as amphibious animals. Just now we saw the example like frog, toad, salamander. Okay, they stay on both on the land as well as in the water. This is what students we have learned today. As classification of animals are done on the basis of unicellular and multicellular animal, as vertebrates and invertebrates, oviparous and viviparous, terrestrial, aquatic, amphibious, and aerial animal. Okay. Does anyone has any doubt regarding this topic?
No, ma'am.
Yes, students?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So can you give can you give me example of if you know, you raise your hand, okay? Give me example of terrestrial animals. Give some examples of terrestrial animals. Yes, can anyone? Raise your hand if you know the answer. Yes, Ayush?
The terrestrial animals like cats and tigers, spiders, and lions also terrestrial animals because they live on land.
Yes, yes, very good. Yeah, put your hand lower. Now put your hand lower. You, Ayush, you can add many more in that. Terrestrial animals which lives only on land, which lives on land. Can you add? Yes, Ayush. Unmute yourself and answer the question.
Dogs, cats, and many more animals which we land are terrestrial, like zebra, also elephants and leopards. They are
Yes,
also
yes, yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Put your
welcome,
hand
teacher.
lower now. Put your hand lower. Go in the chat box and put your hand lower. Okay. My next question is, give me an example of unicellular animal. Give me an example of unicellular animal. Yes, other than Ayush, anyone will like to try? Other than
Amoeba.
Ayush?
Amoeba.
No, this is a bad manner, students. I told you to raise your hand. Neeraj Mato has raised his hand. Come on, Neeraj, tell me.
Amoeba.
Yes, very good, very good. Make your hand lower. Put your hand lower. All of you, put your hand
Yes,
lower.
ma'am.
Give me some example of aerial animals. If you know the answer, you have to raise your hand, and I will call out your name, and you unmute yourself and give the answer. Aerial animals. Aerial animals. Give me example of aerial animal. Yes, who can give? Aryan Gupta Juhu. Yes.
A butterfly, honeybee.
Yes, yes, very good. Can you add many more to it?
Oh, insects.
Yes.
Fly,
Even
mosquito.
birds. Very good, very
Bird.
good. Yes, different all types of birds, right?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
very good. Put your hand lower. Okay. So, can anyone tell me, give me example, sorry, what do you mean by oviparous animal? Can anyone tell what do you mean by oviparous animal?
Teacher, your voice is not coming.
Am I audible? For others, am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
you are audible. Yes.
Okay, okay. Neeraj Mahato, please answer this question.
Oviparous
What
means
do you mean?
those animal birds who lay eggs.
Okay, can you give me some example? Animals who lay eggs are called as oviparous animals. Right, you are right. Can you give me some examples of it?
Animals, hen,
Yes, very good,
birds,
very good. Okay,
Indian
okay.
bustard,
You can also, yes, Indian mustard, or you can say duck also.
duck.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you,
Welcome,
Neeraj.
teacher.
Lower your hands. All of you, please lower your hands. All of you, lower your hands. Today I have brought something to show you all. Okay, so today I have collected something from my garden to show you all. Please lower your hands, students, now. Please lower your hands. Okay, thank you. So I have brought something. I have collected something from my garden to show you all. Some insects. Just wait for a second. Yes. See, can you see my screen? Can you see my
No,
screen?
ma'am.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Can you see?
No, teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
What are these?
Yes.
Yeah,
What can
ma'am.
you see?
Keep that mobile off
Yes.
the center.
Bugs.
No, teacher.
Bug.
Right.
Right, right.
Okay. Yeah. Can you see?
Bugs, ma'am.
You correct.
Yes.
Yeah. These are called as centipedes. Okay. These are centipedes.
Ma'am, box.
Yes. And there is also something. See, you can see what is there on the
Yes,
leaf. Can you see?
Yes.
Can you see? What is it? See here, this where I'm pointing out. Yes, Ayush. What is it?
There is a insect.
Yeah, but what is its name?
It is earthworm.
No, it is not
Earthworm.
earthworm. See on the leaf. I'm talking about, see where I'm pointing.
Teacher.
See where I'm pointing.
Excuse me, teacher.
So,
Ma'am, your voice
Can you
is
see?
Ma'am,
What is
your
it?
voice is breaking.
See, what is it? Yes, Aryan Gupta.
Bug.
Oh,
Traveling. Traveling
yeah,
insect.
these are insects. It is called
And
centipedes.
bug.
Okay, these are centipedes. See here, you can see. See
Centipede.
here. Okay. Can you see clearly?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. This is a snail on the leaf. On this leaf, you can see what you can see is a snail. Can you see snail clearly?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
See,
Yes,
there is
ma'am.
one more snail.
Right, it is visible now. Right.
उसने
Okay, it is a big snail.
दिख रहा है करके
Okay.
इंग्लिश टीचर इंग्लिश में बोलने का
Okay. Now, just wait for a second. Do you know, students, who is known as farmer's friend? Who is known as farmer's
मैम योर
friend?
वॉइस इज ब्रेकिंग
Yeah, is it so? Am I audible now? Who
Yes,
is known
ma'am.
as farmer's friend? Oh, it is hiding. Okay. Yes, very good. Earthworm. Earthworm is also known as farmer's friend. So can you see earthworm here? Can you see earthworm? Can you see this earthworm?
रुफीना मिस मोबाइल
Yes.
पास में लेके जाके दिखाइए वो थोड़ा सा हाँ
Okay.
क्लोज है हाँ अभी दिख
Can
रहा
you see
है
earthworm? See, these are earthworms. Okay, they are also called as farmer's friend. Why? Because they fertile the soil easily, and this fertile soil is very much useful for farmers to grow the crop. Crops grow very fast and properly in this fertile soil. So they are also called as farmer's friend. And this snail is an example of what? Which type of animal? Vertebrate or invertebrate animal? Who will tell me? Raise your hand. Snail is considered as invertebrate animal or vertebrate animal? Yes, students. Snail, sorry, earthworm. Earthworm is considered as vertebrate animal or invertebrate animal. Oh, no chorus answers. Yes, are you? Answer me this question. Earthworms, snails are examples of which type of animal? Yes, Ayush, answer me.
Snail is inverted because it was not a boat.
Okay, so they are invertebrate animals. Snail, earthworms, they are considered as invertebrate animals. Okay. Do you have any doubt in this?
No.
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So please take a notebook and write down the homework for today.
Ma'am, 1 minute, please.
Yeah.
लिखना है मैम.
Yes, write and take these questions in your notebook or in the rough book. Give 2 examples. Question number 1 is write 2 examples of multicellular animals. Question number 2 is write difference between oviparous and viviparous animals. Question number 3, what do you mean by aquatic animals? Are you all done with it?
No ma'am.
Yes, sir.
No, ma'am.
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Okay, one more minute.
Yes ma'am.
Everyone is done with it?
No.
Yes, sir.
No. Yes ma'am. Done. अबे मैं लीव ना दे तुझे मान तो भी लिख दे तुझे क्या करूँ की Ma'am, I am done.
Ma'am, my work is done.
Okay. So please write all the answers in your notebook properly in a neat handwriting. Okay? Yes. And nice to see you all for this lecture. and hope to see you tomorrow again.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you, teacher, for taking this session.
you're almost most welcome, student.
Bye, teacher.
Okay.
Yes, this session was very attractive and very live session.
Thank you, teacher. Bye, teacher.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
teacher.
Thank you, teacher. Bye, teacher.
Dear students, you want to ask something regarding this lecture or lesson to me or
No.
to the teacher?
No, sir.
From Joe Ganyagram MPS, tell other schools also. Tell your friends. Those
Yes,
not
sir.
studying in 6th standard,
Yes,
they
sir.
may join. And it's free. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Hope you all enjoyed this lesson.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I and everybody. Thank
Thank
you
you,
very
sir.
much, teacher.
Yeah, thank you, sir. You're almost welcome.